All right, thanks, guys. Ken, I know this has been an awful 24 hours for you. How did this whole thing start?
Man, I have no idea. I get phone calls saying my name is on ESPN and going across the screen talking about Cam Newton, and I was riding, so I just went home and started seeing my name across the screen saying that I spoke with, that I'm assumed to be a person that talked to John Bond. And I'm like, this is crazy. I mean, I just couldn't believe it. I'm just looking at everything that's being said, and then then my phone started just blowing up.
Now,
and that's how it started. I didn't even know about it. It just came out.
You mentioned John Bond. He's the one that was supposedly contacted by you or someone that was saying, hey, we can get Cam Newton for a certain amount of money, and he went to the AD at Mississippi State, and they went to the SEC. When was the last time you talked to John Bond, your old teammate from the 80s at Mississippi State?
I have not talked to John or seen John in over probably 20 years or more.
So
probably 20 years or more, I have not talked to John or seen John.
So why would your name come up?
I have no idea. I have no idea. They know I know Cam. I was at the Ole Miss game with him. That was my first time meeting him. I had talked to Mr. Newton. When Cam first left Florida, I always try to catch those kids that's looking for a home, another place to go. Well, by the time me and Mr. Newton had talked, he had already decided on Blinn. Well, he actually hadn't decided on a junior college yet. So I was just talking to him about other schools. So we started talking, and then he started talking about junior colleges, and I recommended some, and he said the Texas junior colleges were the best junior colleges, and that's where they ended up going.
All right, now for people who don't know, for going back to, God, I think it was Simeon Rice, I mean, and for years, I mean, practically, when did you start placing and helping kids who weren't on the radar for scholarships to go to college and helping them get their education, or, if kids were in trouble like Cam Newton at Florida, you reached out and tried to help them. When did you start that? Because that's basically what you've done for a lot of years. Right.
The first kid I helped get in school was Corey Dillon, and I can't remember 13 years ago.
Wow.
I can't really remember. But I know Corey was the first kid, maybe the second kid. It was a small-time kid out of Florida, I want to say. I'm not sure. But Corey was the first big kid that I sent from Seattle to Garden City Junior College. And then the rest is history. I mean, I just started trying to get in touch with kids or get kids that qualify, didn't qualify, and those were the ones that I targeted to get in school. And as the years went, then I started getting the kids maybe had offers but wanted other schools to offer them. Like somebody might have wanted an SEC school to offer them instead of just all Big 12 schools. So that's how I really got started. I would contact the coach, tell them I got a player. They look at the film. Either they'll like it or not. There it is. Was this because you cared about the kids and you were trying to help them, or have you ever received money to place a kid at a school like, with these allegations that were out there now? Heck no. I've never done that. A school has never paid me for a kid. An alumni has never paid me for a kid. Period, point blank. That's why when this stuff is coming out like this, it's just crazy. Number one, it's crazy to me because they're making me seem like I was the person that called John and talked about it, but I hadn't talked to John in over 20 years. And then that's the thing right there. Now I'm asking for money on behalf of my own school, get from my own school. Now that's just kind of, I don't know. That's just kind of crazy. Now, and to be clear, you do have elite football preparation. That is a recruiting service. Parents can pay you to help try and find their kids better scholarships. Exactly. Okay. Exactly. It's elite football preparation. I help find kids schools. Most of my kids are junior college kids. Some will go D1, Division I, AA, but most of them are junior college kids.
Why do you think your name came up? I mean, where did your name come into this?
I have no idea where my name came up in this. I mean, I was at the game. I had been talking to Mr. Newton because he was asking about Mississippi State, and I was telling him he was asking about the culture of Mississippi State because it's a small town, and we would just talk back and forth. We would just talk back and forth about Mississippi State. I knew about Oklahoma, and I didn't know about Oklahoma. I didn't know about them. And it was Kansas. I know Kansas State was trying to talk to him. And even before the big schools came out, when I realized he wanted to go to a big school, there was some smaller schools out there that was just trying to get in touch with them. But I have no idea. I'm just assuming because I was there with him and I was talking with him, and I had never met Dan Mullins before. So when I was there that night, actually Mr. Newton introduced me to Dan Mullins. So that was my first time meeting Coach Mullins in person.
All right.
So I have no idea how my name just jumped out there.
Point blank. Any contact with Auburn? Did you have any contact with Auburn in their recruiting of Cam Newton?
No, none at all. None at all. None at all.
Any idea what former teammate of Bond's might it be in since it wasn't you?
No, I don't even want to go there. I don't even know. Don't know.
We've got implications and allegations, but nothing against Mississippi State, nothing against Auburn, but it's all on you. Right. Anything that you want to say, just to say this is what I do, and this is who I am, and this is my life.
I help kids get in school. Only thing I was doing is just like every other kid. Cam Newton left Florida. I'll try to get in touch with that kid. When I see a name go across the screen, I try to get in touch with that kid to see if he has any opportunities, see if I can help him get. And that's pretty much. That's it. That's how I do things with the kids. Parents will call me now and say, well, I got a kid. Okay, can I get some film? I look at the film, see what I can do. I let them know what level I think they can play on, and then we go from there. But these last 2 days, I mean, that's hard to explain, especially in the state of Alabama because that's where I'm from. So that really hurt me. That hurt me bad right there.
Have you talked to coaches across the country that you've worked with and had to explain to them what the heck's going on and what's been their reaction?
No. I've had coaches and parents say, coaches and parents call me and players call me and say, Mr. Rogers, we know what you do. We know how you do it. So just keep your head up.
Ken, we appreciate your time, man. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
That's Ken Rogers, one of the guys at the heart of the Cam Newton saga, and you're leading a Heisman Trophy candidate. Guys, back to you.